This podcast never uses AI. Good morning, this is Send 7 World News in 7 minutes. I'm Stephen Devincenzi. Today is Wednesday, the 8th of July, 2026. Starting in Asia and Oceania today. In Turkiye, today is the second and final day of the NATO summit, at which all NATO leaders are attending, and various weapons deals have been announced. United States President Donald Trump criticized other NATO members for not supporting his war in Iran, and said that if the event weren't being hosted by his friend President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, then he might not have gone. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky gave a speech in which he said that Ukraine is now eliminating around 30,000 Russian soldiers per month, mostly using drones.
We are now eliminating around 30,000 Russian soldiers every month. Just imagine that scale. In June alone, nearly 28,000 Russian soldiers were eliminated, and we have video confirmation for every single one of them. The overwhelming majority were struck by drones.
Zelensky also said that although Ukraine is now able to produce most of its own weapons, it still requires more air defense missiles that it is not able to produce. In Ukraine, the death toll from Russian bombardments of Kyiv on Monday has risen to at least 28. Also in Turkiye, a cruise ship for LGBT passengers has been blocked from docking in Aydin province after local authorities said that the cruise was organised by groups that don't align with their society and moral values. In Syria, there were 2 explosions yesterday near a hotel in Damascus where French President Emmanuel Macron was staying. 18 people were injured. Macron met with President Ahmed al-Sharaa yesterday, who has been in power since the overthrow of the Bashar al-Assad regime in December 2024. In Palestine, Hamas has said that it is willing to hand over governing control of Gaza to a United States-backed interim administration. Hamas has governed Gaza since 2006, when they won an election, but have governed without elections since then. Hamas has now said that it has dissolved its government in Gaza. However, Israel described the act as a stunt and said that while Hamas maintains its weapons, it will control any Gaza government. Saudi Arabia is considering expanding its oil pipelines towards its Red Sea coast, according to Reuters. This would allow Saudi Arabia, and possibly some of its neighbours, to export more oil without having to use the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran has been blockading for months. It's not clear if the expansion would improve the capacity of pipelines that already exist or would create a new pipeline. In Australia's city of Melbourne, a man climbed a tall bridge yesterday morning and spray-painted a giant bird on the side. Local reports have said that the man was demanding a sandwich be brought to him by a drone before he would come down. He was arrested. In North America, the Football World Cup is now entering the quarter-finals stage, with only 8 teams remaining. All of the hosts, Canada, Mexico, and the United States, are all now out of the competition after Belgium beat the United States on Monday evening by 4-1. FIFA President Gianni Infantino has publicly defended a decision to allow a US player to play against Belgium despite receiving a red card in the previous match, something which appeared to have been influenced by a request from United States President Donald Trump. Infantino said that FIFA's decision-making body acted independently. In Venezuela, people are continuing to remove debris and find bodies 2 weeks after massive earthquakes. Over 3,500 people are now known to have died. However, thousands more are still missing. Europe. In France, far-right leader Marine Le Pen has said that she will run for president next year after a court shortened a ban against her holding public office. Last year, Le Pen was barred from holding public office for 5 years after she was found guilty of using money from the European Parliament to pay wages of staff from her National Rally Party. Yesterday, an appeals court maintained the guilty verdict. However, it shortened the ban, effectively allowing her to run for president in 2027. Le Pen came second to Emmanuel Macron in both of the last presidential elections. Le Pen has been ordered to wear an electronic ankle tag. In the United Kingdom, Nigel Farage, the leader of the right-wing populist Reform Party, has said that he will resign from his seat in Parliament to trigger a by-election in which he has said he will again run as a candidate. Opinion polls generally show Reform as being the most popular political party in the UK at the moment. However, Farage has been widely criticised recently for accepting large amounts of money and not disclosing this money in the proper way, including a £5 million gift given by a British crypto businessman. Farage said that he would allow the people of his constituency, Clacton, to make the decision of whether he is fit for office.
No, I've decided that the people of Clacton should be the judges of my actions. This will be a people versus the establishment by-election. It's a chance to stick two fingers up to the entire establishment, to frankly tell them where to go. And that is why I will be putting my name forward to stand in this by-election. I will fight to win. I will fight to continue the political revolution that Reform has started. And I would say this to you, the voters of Clacton: if I win, you win. Because if I lose, they win. And we will never, with the two old parties, get the type of fundamental change that we need to fix broken Britain.
Africa. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, at least 500 people are now known to have died from the ongoing outbreak of Ebola, with confirmed cases rising to over 2,500. Only 250 people are known to have recovered. And in Uganda, a study has shown that a homemade catnip lotion is just as effective as DEET at repelling mosquitoes. Catnip is a plant from the mint family, which is best known for being used by cats to produce a euphoria, like taking a recreational drug. A team working between Uganda and Wales found that a 6% catnip oil was equally as effective as repelling mosquitoes as DEET, the most commonly used chemical repellent. Researchers from the University of Cardiff said that this could be particularly helpful to poorer people in rural areas for whom buying commercially available mosquito repellents is difficult. That's your world news in 7 minutes. This podcast is made possible by our incredible supporters who also have access to our transcripts, vocabulary lists, worksheets, and world news quizzes. More information at send7.org. Tomorrow you will be with Juliet Martin. Have a great day.